In this short episode of the CrossFit Editorial Community Podcast, we're going to talk about CrossFit as an avenue or a medium for achieving both lifespan, how long you live, as well as improving health span, the quality of your life, your longevity. And in this, we'll reference some of the work of the amazing Peter Attia, who recently on a podcast discussed some really interesting things that I think have real relevance and parallels in the CrossFit world. So stick around.
Welcome to the CrossFit Edwardsville Community Podcast, where we hear and learn from our coaches, CrossFitters, and Glen Ed community leaders. Now, here are your hosts, Dallas and Greg.
What's up, everybody? It's the CrossFit Editorial Community Podcast. I am Coach G. Coach G. Skell, the CEO and GM at CrossFit Edwardsville. I'm flying solo today. My dude Dallas is on assignment out in the field, so I get to hang out with you guys. As you know, in the CrossFit Edwardsville Community Podcast, we meet and learn from our CFE coaches, meet and learn about our CFE CrossFitters, and then meet and learn from business leaders and thought leaders. And today, we'll be referencing some of the work of the amazing Peter Attia, who is one of the world's preeminent longevity experts, longevity medicine, longevity holistic health experts. So to those of you who may not know, Peter Attia is a physician who focuses on the applied science of longevity. His practice deals extensively with nutritional interventions, exercise physiology, sleep physiology, emotional and mental health, and pharmacology to both increase lifespan, how long you live, while simultaneously improving health span, the quality of your life. This bio, by the way, is from Peter Attia's website, peterattiamd.com. He's Johns Hopkins and Stanford educated, licensed in Texas, California, and New York. He has his own podcast. Fascinating guy. Former, not current anymore, former triathlete. Really interesting guy, enormously accomplished, a lot of cool stuff. Check him out if you want to learn more. But he went on the Joe Rogan podcast fairly recently, and he discussed some of what he considers to be the major exercise keys to longevity. Specifically, he said that the markers, the hallmarks of longevity, or if you consider like some parallels, some things you can look to as what is your likelihood of having a long, healthy, vibrant life. He said it's having both the combination of strength and cardiovascular health. Strength and cardiovascular health. And I found that so interesting because in our CrossFit world, we literally work on both of these things every single day. Our CrossFit program is a strength and conditioning program, or to be most specific, a core strength and conditioning program where we work on 10 domains of fitness: strength, flexibility, cardiovascular endurance, muscular stamina, speed and power, agility, coordination, balance, and accuracy. Those are our 10 domains of fitness. But even the most entry-level fitness observer, the most entry-level, scientist or entry-level exerciser coming into the CrossFit world and just sitting on the sidelines as a casual observer would very clearly be able to see the elements of both strength work and engine, stamina, cardiovascular endurance, heart health, see both of these elements addressed repeatedly, class after class after class after class in the CrossFit environment. So this was cool, but it gets deeper because Dr. Attia he shed some light on how, for his practice, the tests that they use in order to assess the strength and the heart health, the cardiovascular health, and the metric or the test that they use for their purposes that they find effective enough at identifying, do you have the requisite strength for both health span and lifespan? Again, having both health, a quality of life, and length of life. The test that they use for strength is actually your ability to do a static hang from an overhead pull-up bar, which is that's so interesting because more than so many other fitness programs, CrossFit specifically embraces the idea of hanging bar gymnastics, not just static holds, but variations on ab exercises like our toast bar and variations, our pull-ups and variations, bar muscle-ups and variations, and then dozens of other things that we can do hanging from a pull-up bar. But even just that one test that he uses is something that we work on so regularly in CrossFit, hanging from the pull-up bar, hanging from gymnastics rings. He said that the ability to maintain a hold on the pull-up bar and hang, the longer you can hang from a pull-up bar static position, the longer your lifespan and health span will be, because it's demonstrating a requisite amount of strength. And it's obviously there's aspects of grip strength, but done well, done with excellence, that static hang also has elements of shoulder girdle strength, core strength, the ability to control your body in space. A lot of things actually factor in with a static hang. But I just thought it was so cool to hear him bring this to light, because it's something that we do in CrossFit so often, and was very encouraging to know that in the eyes of Peter Attia, the things that we're working on are things that would contribute to lifespan and health span. Naturally, we don't just work on strength when it comes to hanging from a pull-up bar. We do strength in all different planes of motion, frontal plane, sagittal plane, et cetera, and we work on strength with body weight exercises, weightlifting exercises, barbells, kettlebells, dumbbells, static holds. We do all of the above. So much of what we do does contribute to the grip strength and other requisite parts of the static hang. So that was really cool for me to hear, and I think it should be really exciting and encouraging for all of our CrossFitters as well. The second thing that he said, the metric that he gave for tracking cardiovascular health well, let me put it this way. The tests that they use to assess cardiovascular health are high intensity intervals on a bike, an assault bike. Well, for his purpose, he said like a stationary bike, but this could be it could be an Aerodyne, it could be an assault bike, echo bike, etc. So he said that doing high intensity intervals on there and the ability to do high intensity intervals on a bike is an effective enough metric at identifying your cardiovascular health that it can be a sign, or it can be a way of projecting out, should you expect to have a long, healthy, vibrant life. And I thought that's cool too, because we literally work on that in CrossFit so regularly. I would say that the vast majority of any workouts that we do that involve the assault bike are interval workouts, in that for almost any of us rank and file, day-to-day, regular people, CrossFitters, most workouts that involve the bike are interval workouts. We'll go hard for a period of time on the bike. We'll either rest or do something different for a period of time, back to an intense interval on the bike, into resting or doing some other activity. And you have that dichotomy of the work-rest interval, where we push the heart rate up, the heart rate may come down as we recover. We push the heart rate back up, it may come down as we recover. Really, you could even extrapolate out and say the majority of CrossFit Metcons that we ever do are, for most people, interval workouts. If I were to reference the most famous of all CrossFit workouts, the workout Fran, which is 21, 21, 15, 15, 9, 9, thrusters, pull-ups, thrusters, pull-ups, thrusters, pull-ups. 21 of each, 15 of each, 9 of each. For almost any regular human being, that is definitively an interval effort where you do a certain number of reps, you have to stop and rest before you do a few more reps before stopping and resting. For most people, even a short, fast, sprinty type workout like Fran is an interval effort, because most people cannot do that workout unbroken under any circumstances. It becomes interval by definition, which means that we're also pushing that heart health in the same way as you would with, say, an assault bike, where your legs are you're pushing and your arms are pushing and pulling. It's the same in many ways, it is a very similar muscular experience that drives a very similar cardiovascular experience, if you know what I'm saying. The experience of Fran to the experience of bike intervals. So it's in the punchline to all of this is the keys to long-term lifespan and health span, according to Dr. Peter Attia, both having requisite strength and having requisite cardiovascular health, are both entirely addressed and addressed essentially every single day in the things that we do in our CrossFit space. So if you're wanting to live your longest and best life, CrossFit will help you to get there, especially if you're coming into a CrossFit community that has very high quality coaching, that has an attitude of doing movements right, and then building in the intensity as you consistently demonstrate great movement mechanics. If you're going into a CrossFit gym that prizes and treasures doing smart, progressive movement, start with this on day 1, this on day 2, a little bit more, on day 3, a little bit more, day 4, a little bit more, gradually building you into the intensity, gradually building you into more advanced movements so that you can actually do the things well, enjoy the process, not be overwhelmed, not bite off more that you can chew. If you're a part of an intelligent design CrossFit coaching community where the coaches will guide you along through this process, then you can expect that you'd be getting all the benefits that you would need in order to be your best self way into your later years of life, your 50s, 60s, 70s. I've been CrossFitting now for 14 years. I have somewhere in the area of 4,000 CrossFit workouts under my belt so far, and I feel like I have all the energy, the stamina, the flexibility that I need. For me personally, this is my own personal testimony. I feel like I'm fully empowered to go and live my life in any way that I want. I go snowboarding each year. My son likes to hit the pool when the weather is nice out. We went swimming the other day. He likes to go to the trampoline park and bounce around. He's 8. And so like going out, throwing a frisbee around, or just running around pretending to be superheroes, or swimming, or biking, climbing things, all that stuff that little boys like to do. My son loves doing all of that stuff, and I love that I can be there alongside him and participate and be the involved, be the engaged, be the dad that played and participated with him and invested into that experience with him. It's, for me, one of the most rewarding things in my life. And I've said this before, I don't know if you guys have heard me say it, that my relationship with my son is one of the things that I'm most proud of in my entire life. And a big part of that is having all the physical tools that it takes to be able to be fully embracing all of life with him. And, if you're listening to this, chances are that you're a professional person, you've got a spouse, you've got kids, and you want to be able to go out and live your best life too. Not just in your 30s, but also in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, your 80s, and beyond. We'd love to help you get there. So if that is something that you would like to learn more about, or if you just want to get a better idea of what your CrossFit journey looks like, you can reach out to us at CrossFit@edwardsville.com, where you can book a no sweat conversation with a coach, low-key phone call conversation, so we can learn more about you and share with you what your unique CrossFit journey looks like based on what you want to achieve and the station of life that you're in now. So guys, we'd love to hear from you guys and talk to you guys. For now, that's all I got in the podcast. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and hope to see you at CFE.